Hello, everyone. I just want to set a disclaimer for the episode. This was our last episode in LA right after Thanksgiving break. We'll be coming at you soon in Philadelphia with more episodes, but for now, enjoy this.
Are you ready to rumble? Alright,
We good?
let's do this thing.
Welcome back to the Zach and
Francesco
Francesco
show.
show. It's been
a
a hot
minute.
minute. A hot
It's been a
minute.
grip per se.
Yeah, I mean Thanksgiving. All those kind
we
of
had a lot of
things,
stuff to do. Like we had
Life
valid-
is happening.
Life happened.
If you guys didn't notice, we have a special guest here with
Oh my
us
god,
this evening.
a very special guest.
If you would like to introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Will Russell, and I'm their roommate.
Yeah. Me and Will share a room. Zach has a room to himself because
Yeah.
he pays a buttload more money.
And it's worth
He
it.
has more money than us. He's
Yeah.
been to
That's
several
true.
different countries. I only been to two.
Bro,
I've
what is-
also been to several different countries. I mean, I've been to
Damn
Rome.
me up on
I've
that
been to
one.
Rome.
I've been to 3 countries: United
Oh,
States,
so you
Canada,
so you lied.
United
so you're a
States,
liar.
Canada, and Los Angeles. Because I've been told Los Angeles is like another country. I don't know if that counts.
Interesting
or not.
take.
I can't believe I got called out for having my own room. I didn't realize it was such a class difference. You know.
It is.
Sorry,
At least
Tim.
you don't brag about it. I mean, there's like I
mean,
know
yeah.
some other roommates who've been like real like.
I listen. I just used the money Temple gave me.
Yeah, I
I
respect
got my
it.
room. Like if Temple gonna give me money, I'm gonna splurge on the room.
Yeah,
Like I'm paying the same price as you guys.
yeah. So let's just talk about. I want to
Yeah.
start with break. We
Break.
So you guys both went home, right?
Yeah, I'm back
Yes,
to
sir.
Philly.
So you went back to
Yeah, just Tuesday to Friday. Just
Yeah.
saw the homies, saw the fam.
Yeah, and your grandparents flew you out, right?
Yeah,
That was nice.
it's nice of them.
Yeah, another class thing.
Oh yeah.
And then how about you?
Well, my grandparents didn't fly me out. They're all dead. So my dad. Sorry, mom. My Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I don't know what.
So
okay,
who
yeah,
flew you out?
Yeah, my dad did. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it was like really last second. I had plans to do something down here, and then things kind of changed, and so I just felt kind of. I mean, my dad and I kind of both felt bad, so he flew me out. Had dinner with the family, and I was here until Monday morning.
Dang, for a
And,
long time.
Yeah,
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 so like,
it was
when did you leave? You leave
Thursday morning.
Oh, okay.
3 a.m. here, and it was
3 a.m. How was
yeah.
traveling on Thanksgiving? I've
Mm.
never done that.
I haven't
the Uber driver was able to get me to the airport pretty quick, less than an hour. It's like, I mean, 3:30 a.m. It's really not that bad.
Oh, that's
I mean,
true. I didn't think about
yeah.
that. Was the airport crowded?
It a little bit. I thought it'd be a little worse. It was like average. Yeah, I was able to get through like TSA in less than like 25 minutes. So
That's
That's not bad, yeah.
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 Well, guys, I went to Newport Beach, which is bougie.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
didn't know, it's bougie.
Another class difference.
Yeah, so it was my cousin's sister. Nope, my cousin's husband's sister. Their family. You got that? Everybody got that? Cousin's husband's sister.
sister's family.
So my cousin's husband like grew up around here. Well, he
Okay.
was born in Thailand, and then
Oh.
North Carolina was a
Okay.
thing.
Wow.
Then he went to UCLA, then went NYU, then to Pitt. Lot of stuff.
Oh, so he traveled around a bit.
And now he lives in Richmond,
so
Virginia, and works for VCU. So they're a couple. They both work at VCU, and they always
Wow.
skip our Thanksgiving, which is usually at my parents' house,
Gotcha.
and come here now. But I'm out here, so I
So you
hung
get to
out
see
with them. And beautiful house. They have a
Nice.
pool, hot tub.
Love to see it.
We went on a boat. It's called a Duffy. It's just like a small casual boat.
That's pretty hype.
It was nice.
The house. So does the. I'm sorry. This is the cousin's husband's house.
It's the cousin's husband's sister house.
Okay. What does she do?
Oh,
Sounds
so
like
she
she kind of does well for herself.
so she worked for Vans actually. She actually got me for the you that are watching.
Damn.
She got
yo, we
gave
got the
me these
drip.
Vans. But so she works at Vans, which is apparently near Newport, I think,
I
and
guess.
it's like corporate. I don't even know what she did. But then her husband's like a real estate broker in
Nice.
Newport, so like all
So
those
he's ballin'.
expensive homes, he's balling out.
Good for him.
Yeah, so real estate gets you there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they say, like
Why don't you
dentist
do
and
that?
real estate.
Yeah, you should do that.
I'm an editor, bro. What are you, Will?
I am a. Gosh, I mean, I'm a film editor. I'm a content creator on TikTok. I do a lot of just editing, a lot of weird shit, making live action memes. But
What's
what
it
I like to do generally is editing, acting, writing, and directing, and cinematography.
What's your favorite content to make on TikTok? Like, what stuff do you actually
Anything
enjoy
that
making?
involves like with a lot of special effects and yeah, I mean, it's just like the main special effects stuff that's like so unexpected and will get a laugh out of everybody. And it doesn't help that like many people request me to do certain videos, and sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're not. Mainly, it's the fight videos where I have a cartoon character who would punch me or kick me in the face. People would literally just say "fight so and so." But this like really all started, and I mean, might as well just go into that. It was the greatest year to graduate high school, 2020. This was March, like late March.
Yeah.
I had a YouTube channel, and it was doing, I mean, compared to my TikTok account, it was doing fairly well. I had 3,000 something subs.
Okay.
It got terminated. Long story short, it wasn't my fault.
Of course.
But yeah, so, and it didn't help either because like nobody was working. I mean, I was relying on their Twitter thing, so really I had no way of getting it back. So kind of fell into depression. But at the time, TikTok was booming, especially because everybody was home doing literally nothing. So TikTok was and so I was like, I'll just start doing some stuff. And at the same time, SpongeBob memes, like stuff a lot about like SpongeBob nostalgia and just a bunch of funny scenes just out of context. They were just all over the place. So I did it was like a live action part of like SpongeBob and Patrick in that episode of I think Snowball Fight. I can't remember if that was the episode name, but they're throwing a snowball and then I'm like suddenly there and I get hit and I'm like, oh fuck, like such a beep sound. And really I just thought it was cheesy, but thousands of others didn't think so, and so I kind of had a thing going where like I was doing these SpongeBob memes and people were liking them. It didn't help when I was also doing other stuff, like later on when I was getting like hundreds to thousands of followers. I didn't want to just do SpongeBob content.
That's fair.
I did some other stuff. I really like to make fun of politics because of how horrible and complicated it is. And some people who disagreed with me on some of the stuff I was making fun of or didn't take it too lightly, would just it didn't help. They would just say, "Oh, it's just another loser in his mother's basement who's obsessed with SpongeBob." So,
Damn.
What,
That's pretty hard.
seems like politics wasn't the greatest thing.
People
but,
people don't like politics.
Yeah.
What's your handle for the audience?
At WillRussell01.
Yeah, so they can start looking that up,
Follow
getting
him
their
on TikTok
getting their
right now.
own opinion on the
Yeah.
Will
So,
Russell.
What's
content.
your most popular video, like of all time?
It's a SpongeBob meme, but
yeah?
it's one that I can laugh at, and I'm walking into the bathroom. I'm like, nothing I need more than a nice hot shower, and then it's a clip of Patrick from like, honestly, I haven't even seen that episode, but I was looking at like season 1 funny moments to I was basically researching what could I do next. Because I feel like I've done almost every part that I can remember from episodes I watched. But it's this part where Patrick is like, "Hey, buddy, I warmed up the shower for you," and so, and I'm just, so yeah, I open it up and he's there, and I'm like, "What the hell?" And so I have a shot of the view of Montgomery, the apartment building at Temple. I have like a picture of it when I was doing a tour the year prior. So I made myself look like I was in there, and I threw Patrick Lee out the window of that video. So it's like, what the? He's falling down, and it was weird. But
You heard it here first.
overnight, because at the time I had maybe about 5,000 to 6,000 followers. Overnight, the video got about 100,000 views, and the next few days it was at 800 something thousand. The views I don't really consider to be part of what making it popular.
Our podcast is about to blow up, bro. Like,
Yeah,
Will's
we
gonna
gotta-
be like, "Yo, I was on this podcast," and it's gonna
Yeah.
go through the roof.
Oh yeah, I'll share something about it. But what I consider more of like what will make this popular is the amount of likes, and it got 150,000 likes. I'm sure
That's
maybe
a good ratio.
maybe 10 to 15% was maybe bots, but like there in the comments, like I like comments more than everything, not negative comments, but people who actually found this shit funny. Is like, I'll spend that extra time to like hear these heartfelt comments saying this is really funny, and this is still during the pandemic, and like everybody's going through a lot of shit, so you can't have a world without laughter, or else the world would suck a lot more. So yeah, the video did well. In the matter of days, I had about 10,000 followers, which was a big deal, and then thousands more views. So yeah,
Pretty high.
that was like the biggest
Peak.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's pretty impressive, I will
Yeah,
say.
it's awesome.
I've never indulged in TikTok, so
Yeah,
I
I mean,
don't have
it's-
TikTok. It's not my style.
yeah.
I'm
It's
more
really-
of an Instagram guy.
Yeah. I mean, to be quite honest, I like Instagram kind of better. I mean, TikTok is.
Whoa,
Oh
no
my
way.
God.
Okay. Well,
cliff that. Cliff that.
Okay. I mean, TikTok. I mean, I love what I do on there. It's like, but you gotta, something you gotta know, especially for like bigger creators who are like in the millions of followers, like Addison Rae and all that. There's no such thing as a pioneer of TikTok because TikTok doesn't pay like shit. Like they barely
true.
pay anything. And it doesn't help now that they removed the creator fund.
Oh, they removed the creator fund?
Yeah.
somebody
I suppose they're
explain?
setting up like a beta version because I was getting a notification about that from
Do you
TikTok.
know what happened?
What is the creator funds?
Oh, it's how TikTokers got paid.
So it
It
was
was
like
ad revenue. It was
Yeah.
like
Okay.
YouTube.
Get a couple cents per video. It was like it wasn't like with YouTube because like I know like with YouTube you get like 1 million views. It's like or no 1 1 million views is like $1,000. I
I
think.
think
Okay.
it's about that. Yeah.
Right.
That sounds about right.
TikTok, it's like I don't even know how the hell
It's
it even
way
works.
lower.
Yeah, it's just way lower. So like people who are pioneers on social media like TikTok, Instagram, it's like a lot of that is. I know Instagram pays a lot more obviously, but with TikTok, it's a lot of the paid sponsorships, which I've had the privilege to do one so far, and
paid sponsorship. What was
Yeah.
it for?
yawning.
it was.
Sorry, it's late.
Oh
It
no,
is.
it's fine. The sponsorship was for Firmoo, and it's a glasses like brand. They do a lot of sunglasses, prescription, non-prescription glasses, and they offered to send me a pair of their high-quality blue light blocking lens glasses.
Ooh.
And I've been meaning to buy a pair, just cause like
Well,
when
they
I'm
gave
doing-
you a pair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they sent me a pair for free, and
So why
they
would
kind
you
of
buy one?
Well, before that, I think you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Got to keep up, bro.
My bad.
yeah.
Have you ever bought blue light glasses?
No, but my parents bought them for me one
I
time.
I
got,
bought
like, $10
me and this
ones.
girl a pair once, and I think they're like not real.
I don't think they're real either.
I just think it's like
Have you used them yet?
I've used them a few times. It really depends. Like if you're really tired and like you have something like especially like an assignment, it will like make I don't know how to describe it in words, but it makes it feel a little less bright and it takes it a little easier on the head. Like I know some people like say you must always wear blue light glasses. It doesn't make a significant difference. It like really depends like how tired you are, how much your screen brightness, what it's set at, and like how much work you're doing.
Gotcha.
But-
What's your code? What's your affiliate code?
I can't remember on the top of my head, but I know Francesco will put it right here.
oh,
right
apparently
there.
I will.
Give it right there. You got it.
Right
Yeah.
there, guys.
Guys,
Yeah.
buy blue light glasses.
You should also go through my link tree as well. Well, actually, I think if you have the code, it should still be fine. I just need my commission pay.
You get this
My
man
affiliate
his,
link.
his check.
My
he needs
affiliate
his
pay.
dough.
Yeah, give
Yeah.
bro his dough. Everyone buy blue light glasses.
You
Yeah.
just talking about checks. Sorry. So I just recently learned that my bank lets me deposit checks electronically.
That's a normal thing. I don't know. I'm sorry, but that I cannot believe you didn't know that.
Well, no, my bank's really old. Like I knew you could do it, but it was my first time like doing it. And
My old bank didn't let me do that.
Really?
It was like a local
yeah,
downtown.
mine's like a
S&T.
local like.
I just
Lexus.
upgraded
got a
like
PNC.
before I moved out here to like Citizens Bank, which
But
is
it's
much
like-
bigger. Like
Isn't that weird that like you can just take a picture of it and it works?
It's awesome.
No, like I like it. I'm just saying
Yeah.
like in like the method of things, it seems like that could like be easy to like fraud stuff.
I honestly.
You get what I'm saying?
I kind of when you can deposit it at like an ATM, like if like for PNC is one on Temple's campus, and you don't have to go to like a teller. There's like a machine where you can deposit checks at.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, and that's like you don't have to go.
Is
to
that
a-
normal?
Yeah.
Oh.
every
I think for bigger banks. it
every
works.
Acme has a Citizens Bank like dedicated deposit, like I mean depositing kind of
like ATM
thing on their ATMs. Yeah.
Bro, I need a new bank.
What
I'm
bank do
like-
you have?
It's called Wheatland Federal Credit Union.
That sounds like a goofy bank. Bro. That sounds like
It's pretty
My
goofy.
old one was called
Millions.
S&T. It used to be called DNB or DMB or whatever.
Yeah,
So it
I
sounds
went-
like it's like the same
I
thing.
went
Yeah.
to Chase and then I went to PNC.
Why'd you switch? Isn't Chase like good or no?
Chase was fine. I just PNC has like a good like college student bank.
Do you have a credit card?
I have credit cards.
Oh,
Do
okay.
you have any credit cards?
No. I just have a debit
Why,
card.
why do people in college like I know some people like have credit cards and some people I just don't want credit cards. What's your beef with credit cards?
Well, I didn't know that like I didn't really know the benefits other than just
Do you
it's
have
a
one?
loan of money. No, I don't.
Okay,
Okay.
so
But I've been like I've seen. Sorry,
No, you're
I'll
good,
make
you're
it quick.
good. No,
Yeah.
don't make it quick.
When I'm on TikTok,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna go full into, but I see like the most random content because I don't follow many people, and some of them are like life hacks for like people our age or like good early kind of living styles you can do to save money. And so that's where I kind of seen like a video about learning because it's this girl who's very famous. I forget her name. Her first name's Spencer. Don't know the last name, but she's like a year younger than me, and she just bought her first house. And she talked about how like one of them with having a credit card is building up credit scores or whatever. That's like a big benefit of like saving, making money or whatever. And of course, it's not something I learned about in school either. So
I was just always told that like I guess my idea of a credit card is that like you could easily overspend and it could screw you over with like interest, but with a debit card like it's just cash in electronic form.
Okay, so credit card, that is true, but so the way credit cards work is every month you have like a balance to pay off.
Yeah.
So for example, like you apply for a credit card, right?
Yeah.
Theoretically.
You have to apply.
Yeah, like
Okay.
you get it
I like
as
this
long as you.
become an instructional
Yeah, like,
video of
if-
how
so-
to sign up for a credit card.
Yeah, so if you have like really shitty credit,
Mm-hmm.
like say your credit's like 200, I know they can go that low,
Mm-hmm.
but no one's gonna want to give you a credit card. But if you're like a student, you're like you sign up for like a credit card, a student card,
Mm-hmm.
your credit limit's like 2,500 a month, let's say, right? And so every month you have like a minimum like payment to make. So I think it's like $35 for Discover card, and so whatever amount over that is what you could charge interest on. But if you're just responsible,
But then when you pay monthly, do you pay like
you
do
just
you like pay it off the whole way, or do you only pay like increments?
if you were responsible and don't go into debt, you pay it all off. So then you have no
Per month.
interest. Yeah. So every month on like the 20th, because mine's doing the 22nd, I pay it all off.
See, that just seems like way too much to keep track of.
Not really, because it's literally one bill. I go into my app, I press pay, and that's it. And you can also you can set it up to also like auto do it.
Okay.
But so the thing is though that people like when you first get one, what you don't realize is because like with a debit card, like you see the amount go down every time, right?
But with a credit, you don't.
Well, because you just pay it off at the end. So the amount goes up. So like say I spent $500, right?
And then you're just gonna keep adding to it,
Yeah, and then like at the end of the month, I have to pay it off.
like $1,000.
Yeah.
I
And
like
then,
how
So it
educational
sounds.
this is.
It
They gotta show
sounds.
this
It
in
sounds a
schools.
lot more dangerous,
it can be dangerous if you're responsible.
especially
it's not.
for like young people.
Yeah, but that's why you should be responsible because it is good though because there's like certain benefits.
Building up your credit's a good thing.
and also the
That's what they
cash
say.
back. Like I got
Oh,
like,
my sister has cash back.
yeah, like my Discover card for Discover.
She has Discover,
Not to be like a Discover like fanboy, but the first year is like 2% cash back on everything.
Yeah, I think that's what
So
she
that-
had.
that's,
She
like,
went like
good.
crazy.
Yeah, so you get like
She was like, "We can use my card."
yeah, it's good if you use the
Yeah.
card because you get
Interesting.
cash back. And then like I had the Instacart card. I have
Yeah.
2 credit cards. My first one was Discover. I got that like right when I went to college.
Yeah,
And I got the Instacart card like 2 years ago, maybe a year ago.
yeah.
And that one is 5% cash back on all Instacart purchases.
Oh, okay.
So like that's why people
I
use.
think I get it.
Yeah, that's why people use travel cards as well.
Yeah,
Like and like my parents have like an American Airlines card.
yeah. My
And-
parents have different cards. Too.
Yeah, and so you use certain cards to get certain
money.
benefits.
Oh,
And as
okay.
long as you pay it off
You're chill.
at the end of the month, like you don't pay anymore. That's like the biggest misconception is people assume that you have to pay the interest. Like there's no way to not pay interest. All you have to do is
you
you
have to-
have to pay it all off.
Yeah,
But the issue people run into, especially when they get like their first card, which I know people who do,
they overspend.
well, they just do the minimum payment. So
Oh,
say
okay.
my limit's 2,500,
Yeah,
and I only have 200 in my bank account this week, but I get paid next week, right?
yeah.
And I have my limit's 2,500. I spent like 500 this month. I fucked up. I only have 200 in my bank account, so I'm gonna spend the minimum payment of 35, right?
Yeah.
And then I get charged interest of like 2 or 3% on the extra, like
Which is, like, a lot.
465. Yeah, which adds up.
Yeah.
And that's how people like accumulate debt.
Oh, okay.
And then once you hit like that max when you're not paying it off, that's when people get into this hole of just like it gets bigger and bigger and doesn't stop.
See, like this has definitely been explained to me, but now that I'm sitting here, 21 years of age, and have
Yeah.
money and financial, it
Yeah.
like makes sense. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna take a pivot though from our educational
Yeah,
video.
of course. I feel like people need that though.
I felt like that was very good for the
Yeah.
people.
Do you feel like you should get a credit card now? Or no?
I'm honestly debating it. My mom will let me know after this video, but
Like, because I have like
I don't want to keep
Discover.
talking about
Listen,
this.
listen. No, now I'm gonna say, if I send you a link, we can both get $100 off.
Oh my
free.
god.
$100.
I'll let you know. You'll be my first one I go to.
Dude, I know like 20 high school teachers from my high school I went to who should like use this video to teach about credit cards. I feel like I've learned more than like
I'm glad that
everything
it's
I've learned in like my entire junior year of high school.
It's because I'm Jewish.
I
Like,
get it.
honestly,
Fair enough.
I get
like,
it.
I got that.
So I was thinking the next thing we could talk about is Will, you're like into video games, right? Or I guess that statement
A
doesn't
little
even do
more
it
than a little
justice.
into
Yeah.
He's the goat.
yeah.
Well, you
so-
like the old video games, right?
Yeah, I like video games from all different eras, especially. I mean, there's a lot of like old, games that I grew up on. Some that were even like that were in the family before I was even born. But it was
Show
really
some classics. What names?
Kirby 64 and the Nintendo 64. That's the first game I ever remember playing. It's still like one of my favorite games ever. Early Mario Kart games, like not the Mario Kart on the Switch, Mario Kart 8. It's fun and all, but like the older ones, especially on the Wii, GameCube, like I guess this is kind of what it's like to have like a midlife crisis, but like on when it comes to nostalgia things. Yeah, it wasn't until like I was 13 years old and I decided to start because I realized how much old stuff I had. Like, I had a Nintendo 64, I had a GameCube, I had a Wii, and my cousin gave me her old NES Nintendo. That's the first Nintendo because she just had it in her garage or whatever. And so I'm like, I should collect more of these because I've seen photos. I know my mom would not like it, but before I knew it, I was going to garage sales like every Saturday. It was that summer of 2014. I got a Super Nintendo. I'm finding all these games, and I would keep the ones that I was getting, and then take any other ones I already had, trade them for the next, and spend a few years, and now I have this is fairly decent, fairly average sized game collection.
That's nice.
Yeah.
We're bringing on all the people with collections on the podcast.
Yeah, we got another collector.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I want to hear about but you really repair arcade machines, right?
Yeah, I do like to. Yes, I do like to repair stuff as well. And I've with this collecting streak, I also bought a few arcade games broken. We got one. My first arcade machine ever was a Zaxxon, like a really old school game, but Zaxxon. Yeah. Oh my god. It was empty though. There's nothing in it. But I had a really old PC that I used as a old school gaming PC. They used an emulator to play like every single arcade game from the 80s and 90s you can think of.
Yeah.
And then I had a old monitor. So I had like this gigantic it's called an X Arcade like USB controller. So I threw that in there and made like a multi arcade thing, and it's pretty cool. And then over the years, I remember when I was 17 years old, prime time in high school, all my friends have bought their cars, lost their V card, and I bought myself a Donkey Kong machine.
Based as hell, Will.
Is that?
They're also similar.
Would you say that's your best game? You're like if you
It's
had
my favorite machine, even though it only
Okay.
plays like one game. It's like it's gorgeous, it's presentable, it's like a great conversation piece, and it makes all the. It was kind of weird because like not only with Donkey Kong, but with like all the games in general, especially when I was like really young when I started collecting this stuff, and like my mom would have friends over and they would like look over the stuff and they would almost start to cry. I'm like, oh, why? And now I'm starting to understand that, like, because when I look at stuff that was only like made 10 years ago. I mean, this is what it's like to grow up. It's like you look, and it almost makes you sad. Like, holy shit.
So, it's your favorite game, right?
Donkey Kong is my favorite arcade
Okay.
game.
And then what's like? What was I gonna say? What's the game you're best at? That's what I want to know. Would it also be Donkey Kong?
This man is cracked at Donkey Kong. I will say, like,
Yeah.
the second day I met Will, we went to Barcade, and like it was crazy. Like, bro, like broke the record in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it, like 6-figure score. I was like, holy fuck. Like
Yeah.
he was like, I'm like just like watching because I was playing whatever game was next to it. I lose in like 5 minutes, and then he's just going, and then he starts explaining the text of like how to like certain barrel, like waiting for like the frames to get over certain barrels.
I still can't do algebra.
Yeah, but he knows the text for Donkey Kong though. It was kind of crazy watching because I'm like, damn, like I haven't seen anyone like who can like legit play it and like knows how to get through it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, before I even had a real Donkey Kong machine, I mean, obviously I was a big fan of the game already. I played on the little emulator machine, and I also, this was like, middle school, high school, I would look at YouTube videos of people who've gotten like world records, and I would just see the way they would like do certain levels, because when you think of the game, I mean, I don't know how many times you've played Donkey Kong in your entire life, but the average game doesn't even last like a minute, because like you're just most people can't do the first level.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah, I couldn't.
I wanted to kind of I saw videos of like certain times when to move, make this jump, make sure you don't run into two barrels at a time when you're using the hammer. And then it's especially the final level, it's like it's this big little layout with all these little pillar blocks, and it's like you want to go to this side, then that side, then skip this side, go up around it. And just after just watching several videos, and it's like it's a way to figure out the game. Now I'm not saying I'm not gonna say I'm like one of the world's best players. There's people who've gotten like over 1 million points, and I could never do that, because that's like hours upon hours. And
When he was just explaining that, have you seen The Last Dance?
No, I
The
haven't.
documentary?
Yeah.
So in the documentary, Dennis Rodman talks about like rebounding.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, yeah, like if the ball hits there, it's gonna spin over there. I'm gonna get it. And when he just explained like all of that, that's what I was picturing. Like Dennis Rodman's like technique on rebounding is Will's technique on
On
Donkey Kong.
DK.
it's so similar.
So
DK.
so with this like parallel, because you like video games, right? So then you like play arcade games, like the older games, and then obviously you play like some current games, like everybody does.
GTA 5 is one of my favorites.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not
GTA
much of a
5.
current. It's more of a retro game now.
So
It
would
It will be next month when Rockstar announces
True.
GTA
A couple
6.
days
GTA
potentially.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah, in December.
Yeah, we're like.
But my
Sorry,
question
go ahead.
is, would you prefer like a newer game or would you prefer classic? Like which way do you like lean on the scale more?
Honestly, that's a complicated. I mean, there's just so many different games that I like. It's like it's hard to come up.
Well, what about some newer games? So you said GTA. What else?
I definitely like a lot of the RPG stuff. A lot of the adventure games. Call of Duty is kind of it's become like Star Wars of video games. It's become so much like it just.
Good reference.
That's a good.
It's a perfect reference. I just feel with like the retro games, especially like Super Nintendo. There's a lot of like, I mean, things were much simpler. I mean, the simpler the story, the easier for me it is to spend more time and to beat the game. Back when, especially when controls only had like 3 to 4 buttons. Now like Xbox controllers have like 17 different buttons and controls. So. I mean, it's to say, I definitely, like I said, it's kind of hard to answer what I prefer most, but I could just talk more about the pros and cons of like both, the old retro game and the newer game. But I would say, retro games have a lot of the benefits of like, easier kind of plot, easier controls.
Yeah, I get that. Because
and
I
then-
grew up on the Wii, and like,
the Wii obviously only had like 3 or 4 buttons.
and that was
and
easy for like a kid to like get
Exactly,
into video
yeah.
games. It was a perfect like gateway
Yeah,
into
it was
that.
very
And
simple.
then that's when, because we had like a PlayStation 1 and 2, but like I wasn't obviously good at it because those were like
Yeah.
they were older than me.
We had a
kinda.
PlayStation 2 as well. Like
Oh, so did
we
PS2.
had this game called
PlayStation
Nicktoons
2 was
Unite,
like the best
Oh, yeah.
console.
which was like the Avengers of like all Nickelodeon characters. It was like and like watching the entire cutscenes, because you can find on YouTube. It's like watching Endgame but Nickelodeon edition. But it was so cool. Like my brother he would try to explain it to me. I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Like with all these, it got so complicated. But like and like with a lot, like I said, a lot of newer modern games are kind of guilty of that with when it has a lot of backstories. But like certain games, when they get it right, like GTA 5, like I've never played any of the other GTA games beforehand. Like I did play GTA 4 like a few times, not like doing missions or anything, more like going around picking up hookers and shooting some gas tanks. But
Casual.
it's kind of almost like a rare situation where they can kind of they have this big backstory, but they set up the controls into something that like anybody can almost pick up instantly. They've done the same with they've done the same thing with other open world games like Mario Odyssey on
Or
the Switch.
Spider-Man.
Or Spider-Man, yeah.
Spider-Man
Excuse
2
me.
specifically.
Spider-Man 2, yeah.
Great game. Great game.
Oh, we know.
Oh,
yeah.
do we know?
We do know.
We do now.
I wonder how many times we've brought that up.
It's a lot already.
I think probably 3.
Yeah, I mean, you did 100% it.
And I 100%. I don't know if I 100% last time we were on the podcast. Well, the 100% of the PlayStation trophies
yeah.
too.
Yeah, you're just fully done with it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that DLC.
See, I prefer like indie games. Like I have like so many random indie games.
Indie games are fun, especially.
Yeah, I play what was the one? A Lethal Company was the one I just got. It's like a
Never heard of it.
scavenger horror co-op game.
That's like
On
I think the
PC.
kind of game Ethan,
Yeah.
is that the kind of games you play? Text me.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Yeah, it's super fucking cool. It's on PC. It's like an early
Yeah,
access.
he's a
so it's
PC
like-
gamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't until last year. I made the jump, and it was worth it. I will say.
I've been meaning to get into PC gaming, like I've been told about. It's just because my entire life I've always been a Mac user, and obviously there's no
same.
such thing as like a Mac PC game,
Yeah.
like computer. Like that would
Yeah.
be terrible.
I've had all 5 PlayStations,
That's crazy.
isn't it?
I went from consoles. I had Game Boy Advance, DS Lite, Wii, Xbox 360, Xbox One,
I hate it.
Switch, and then
It would take me more than 5 minutes to tell you how many
Yeah.
of my systems I had.
PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say PC is like way cooler just because there's so many cheap games. You know,
Yeah.
like on console, like it's
$70 nowadays.
It's almost all just AAA games. There's some indie games, but I feel like there's a lot less indie games on consoles nowadays.
Plus,
Yeah.
it's probably the most easy platform to pirate the best games.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if I should have said that on here. FBI.
No,
you're
listening.
good.
Yeah.
A PC is the pirate. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, like download like
Yeah.
PC games. I mean, because like you have just the internet browser on the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably just
okay.
a lot easier to.
Yeah, because I
Torrent.
try and do that sometimes on the PlayStation internet browser. It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. But on Steam, like Steam has so many sales.
Yeah.
Like there's sales on Steam like every month.
I
Like,
remember on the Wii, and this was like maybe like 2009. It was like not long after we got it. There was no like eventually they had like a YouTube and Netflix app on the system, but
Yeah.
this was before they had any of that. They had the internet browser, and we spent a lot of Wii points on it, 800 Wii points. So I remember we had to work very hard to earn those. We had to
a
clean
lot
up
of
our
Wii
basement.
points.
But yeah, we finally get the internet browser app, and we go on YouTube, and it worked. I mean, it was like very
Yeah.
slow, like 10 frames per second. Didn't help that we were using a big old boxy TV
Yeah.
either. We pull up one of my I did like these little stop motion videos with these
Oh, yeah.
Mario figurines. So I have like the video on the TV. I'm like, holy, look, one of my videos that's on TV. I'm a TV. Like this is
We're chilling.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
fine. One camera's down.
yeah, one camera.
One camera down.
That's 2 cameras.
Oh, it's 2 cameras down.
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
It's fine. We
Okay,
got the
we got the
wide.
wide.
One down, 2 to
All
go.
we need is the wide.
Yeah, but yeah, I also used to make stop motion. I started with Legos,
Yeah.
and then I used stuffed animals for a while, in like end of elementary school, beginning of middle school.
Isn't
Yeah.
that even harder?
Stuffed animals?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was hard. I wish I could find them because I was like, it was really fun, honestly. Like stop motion was like one of the coolest. things.
with Legos is so cool.
Legos,
This-
yeah, I got good at it.
This
actually.
one kid in my high school did it for like our video festival
Oh,
every
yeah.
year, and I like was always just like, wow.
Yeah, and then I did it with, they were like the Halo Mega Blocks, which is Halo Legos.
Yeah.
That's what I did the most with, when I was like actually like decent at it, and that was super fun.
I
'Cause
think when I
stop
get
motion's
old, I'm
cool.
gonna invest in Legos.
That's a good investment, I will
And
say.
then just like
it's
have like
fun.
an entire basement of just
I haven't
Legos.
built a Lego set in so long.
We
Bro,
know
I
my
built one last
grandfather-
year, and
Really?
like I was just like ecstatic. I bought a Lego Ninjago set like out of nowhere for myself for Christmas,
Yeah,
and then I
maybe
just.
I'll- mhm.
What about your grandfather?
Yeah, my grandfather did this for all, like, I'm talking about my mom's dad, for all,
Yeah.
like, 15, 16 of his grandkids. He would buy a stock for Disney, or he did Disney for me, and probably other brands. He would buy a stock for each of us, and, like, every now and then we'll get a check from, like, I
Oh.
remember it was, like, early this year, I got, like, a check. It was, like, nearly $100 from Disney. I'm like,
That's awesome.
did I just get?
Disney
I was a
stocks
little,
up.
I was a
Disney
little
stocks, yeah.
disappointed. I thought maybe like I got some sort of job offer and like a paycheck to go with it. It's like, oh no, and then like, my dad explained, oh yeah, your grandfather bought a stock. I'm like, oh, it's cool. So it's probably something you can do, assuming how many grandchildren you have when you're
Yeah, that's a long ways away.
Yeah.
You get some grandkids
buy a
coming.
stock. If
Easy.
the entire market
Chill.
hasn't plummeted by the end,
See
of
if
it.
there's a depression.
Right.
Yeah, maybe I'll buy myself a Lego set for Christmas or Hanukkah.
Hanukkah. Oh yeah, I
Do,
forgot.
have you
do
thought of
both.
getting do you have the Lego NES, like old school Nintendo?
No, I don't.
I was thinking of of getting it like just as a collector, but it's so like I think it's like $200 something. Like, damn. I mean, I don't know much about Lego sets. I'm sure there's certain like best
Lego
sets,
sets are very expensive.
right? And I'm sure there's some that are
Especially
worth
during the
spending that
holiday
money for.
season, because everybody knows it's a good gift.
Right.
You good?
Yeah, I got an email.
He said, "Oh,
I got an important email.
well, it sounds like we have to go."
Nah,
Is that the end of the podcast?
I mean, like honestly, like
You got an email. We gotta go.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I would like to thank Mr.
Thank you,
Will
Mr.
Foley.
Will
for-
Russell 01 on TikTok.
Yeah.
Give him a follow.
Yeah.
And
My
once again,
pleasure.
here is his affiliate link.
Oh yeah, right here.
Yeah. Buy
That's-
some blue light
yeah,
glasses.
blue light glasses.
Well, buy the blue light glasses.
You
right
need them
there.
more than you think.
You
You
need a
do.
blue light glasses, a Lego set, and you're playing video games. What else you need? in
Collect
life?
as many. Well, actually, I wouldn't advise collecting video games now because they become more expensive. Inflation, like if you want to get a Pokemon like set with the Game Boy, you're looking at like $500. Yeah.
God damn. Oh,
Like if you just want to get all the Pokemon games in the Game Boy Advance, like that's
well, if you want to sell your video games, hit my man up.
Yeah. There you go. All right.
That's never gonna
well,
happen.
Thank you guys for listening to us, watching us, and I think we're gonna do one more episode in LA before we leave, and then we're gonna be back in Philly. So
Yeah.
where it'll be much colder. And
It
yeah,
will
it's
be
gonna
much
be
colder.
cold.
Yeah.
All right.
All
That's
right.
that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
That's all, folks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.